Now, after over 400 days and more than 300 witnesses testifying, the State Capture Inquiry finally released the final part of its report this week. Chief Justice Raymond Zondo handed over the document to President Cyril Ramaphosa at the Union Buildings on Wednesday. Former President Jacob Zuma features heavily in the report. He's already vowed to fight back against the findings. President Cyril Ramaphosa has also been criticized by Zondo and has been given the task of having to implement a long list of recommendations. So the big question is, what happens next? Newzroom Africa's Andersen filed this report.
More than 1 billion rand was spent on the State Capture Commission. As a result, we now have a report that's over 5,000 pages long and made up of several parts and volumes. President Cyril Ramaphosa says he will present his full response to the report to Parliament within the next 4 months. That response will include feedback on which of Zondo's recommendations he will put in place and how. But to understand the recommendation, one needs to first get to grips with the latest bombshell findings from the final part of Zondo's report. Let's start with the ANC as a whole. Zondo found that the long-held ANC practice of cadre deployment, often used to appoint board and staff members to government entities, is illegal and unconstitutional. The Chief Justice also found that former President Jacob Zuma and Siyabonga Kwele, a former intelligence minister, blocked an investigation into the Gupta family. That wasn't all Zuma allegedly put a stop to, though. Zondo says that Zuma also apparently put a stop to an investigation into former state security boss Arthur Fraser. Zondo says that if that investigation would have been allowed to continue, it could easily have led to Fraser's arrest. The investigation related to allegations that more than 600 million rand was spent on a parallel spy network run by Fraser. The State Capture report recommends that the Hawks now reopen that investigation into Fraser. But while we are yet to hear from Fraser, Zuma and his legal team have been quick to fire back. At a media briefing on Saturday, Zuma's spokesperson, Zwanele Mani, insists that the report is unlawful and will be challenged. A complaint relating to Zondo's conduct will also be made to the Judicial Service Commission.
We hold the view that given the unlawfulness of how this inquiry was set up, it cannot be that its findings and recommendations are lawful. The report is therefore a classical case of a fruit of a poison tree.
The final part of the report finds that the former SABC COO, Hlaudi Motsoeneng, allowed SABC money to be used to benefit the Gupta family and their businesses. Zondo says that this appeared to be sanctioned by Zuma and then Communications Minister Faith Muthambi. Muthambi's role has now also been referred to the NPA for possible prosecution. The ANC have also been raked over the coals. Zondo found that the party under Zuma permitted, supported and enabled corruption. But what about Ramaphosa's role in all of the corruption? Zondo openly writes that Ramaphosa could have and should have done a lot more to speak out against state capture. Zondo argues that even if Ramaphosa was fired by Zuma as deputy president of the country, he would still have remained as deputy president of the ANC. Zondo also found that Ramaphosa was dishonest while giving testimony on a review panel for the State Security Agency. Moving to more of the recommendations made by Zondo. The one causing the most debate is Zondo's belief that the constitution should be changed to allow for voters to elect the president of the country directly, not just a political party. Zondo also wants a commission of inquiry to be launched to specifically look into the rot at the passenger rail agency. Another recommendation is for current Deputy Minister of Human Settlements, David Mahlobo, to be investigated for his alleged role in moving large sums of cash while State Security Minister. Zondo found that evidence of Mahlobo's involvement is overwhelming. Arguably the most critical recommendation, Zondo insists that a statutory body be set up to independently vet candidates for top jobs at state-owned enterprises and their boards. So just how beneficial could these recommendations be? Zondo says they will be key in putting the country on the right track.
I don't want to make anybody think that this report is all you need to rid South Africa of state capture or to make sure that state capture never happens again. But I do believe that the recommendations that have been made, if they are implemented, will make a significant contribution towards that goal.
While South Africans wait for Ramaphosa's response, they're also left waiting for justice and to see what the various law enforcement agencies do next. For Newzroom Africa, Channel 405, I'm Andersen in Johannesburg.